quote, "If you come for law enforcement, the Trump administration will come for you," end quote. I want to show you just a brief video. It's about 30 seconds, and I'll ask you a couple questions about it.
You guys are disgusting, man. Hey, you guys are disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You are the Gestapo. You can't see it because you're chasing your pension, right? Your pension, your retirement, right? That's what runs your life, your retirement.
The sad thing is they're not even going to get their pension because it's going to be worthless.
And shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah.
Attorney General Bondi, that man works for you now, right?
Who was that, Congressman?
The man in that video, the one who was in the police-worn body cam footage, the one allegedly yelling, "Kill him," at police officers on January 6th, his name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the Department of Justice.
He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice. Someone on video yelling, "Kill him," at police officers? Right?
I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned. You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump for his offense. Pardoned for yelling, "Kill him," at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You could imagine the reaction of so many folks across the country hearing the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did. But in any event, let's talk a little bit about some of the other divisions within the Department of Justice and what's happened over the last year. You're familiar with the Public Integrity Section of the DOJ's Criminal Division. I think it's referred to as PIN. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time.
Madam Attorney General.
Because I don't like
Mr. Chairman, will you explain to the witness that he does reclaim his time?
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction?
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
The president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the Criminal Division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many
You've
people
asked
work?
me a question, but you don't
How
want
many
the
people
answer.
work
I'm not
for the
gonna answer your
National
questions the way you
Cryptocurrency
want.
Enforcement Team? You won't answer how many
I'll
people?
answer PIN.
You.
PIN will not be
you know what?
weaponized.
You know what?
What's
Madam
funny
Attorney
about
General,
this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about
Mr. Chairman,
this?
you know what the answer is? And I think I
What's
understand
funny
why the
about
Attorney General
this?
does not want to answer the question. Because you eliminated the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team last year. So I understand why you don't want to tell the American people who works there.
Yeah, I
no one
understand
works
why
there
you don't want to
anymore,
talk about
Madam
Mohammed
Attorney
Solomon
General.
in
So,
your district.
In any event,
who
I would
murdered people.
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock so his time is not wasted by the
I've
witness?
been very generous with allowing extra time when we have these little disputes.
I understand.
You got the time, Mr. Neguse.
I might as well ask the chairman these questions.
I'd be happy
because
to answer
what
some
is
of your questions.
what's profound, the questions I've
Profound?
asked,
The crime in
questions
your
I've
district.
asked, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions. They're not gotcha questions. They're actually basic questions about how the Department of Justice functions and the unwillingness of this Attorney General to answer them in good faith. When a member of Congress asks how many people work at the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team and the Attorney General refuses to answer it, it is not a coincidence. It's because she eliminated the team. Why? Because her boss, the President of the United States, is making money hand over fist, $1.4 billion over the course of the last year through cryptocurrency holdings. I think what is happening at the Department of Justice is a disgrace, Mr. Chairman, and I would urge you to gain control of this hearing. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Yeah. I would ask the gentleman, does he agree with the standing up of the Deputy Attorney General for dealing with fraud? That's something that's happened in this administration. First time. You talked about Penn. That happened with this Justice Department.
We're talking about this committee.
Mr. Chairman, had you answered the question, had the Attorney General answered the question in that way, perhaps this hearing would have some modicum of resembling something that has typically been fairly conventional, an oversight hearing of the Department of Justice.
The gentleman's
that is
time
not
has expired. The gentlelady from Wyoming.
Today, we are jumping right into the raw transcript of
that really contentious Judiciary Committee oversight hearing.
Right, the one featuring Attorney General Bondi and Representative Joe Neguse. It was intense.
Very intense. And our mission today is to cut straight through all that crosstalk and procedural bickering, right? We want to extract the core factual claims regarding Department of Justice operations.
Exactly. And listen, to be crystal clear with you, we are not taking any sides here. We're impartially reporting on these politically charged claims from both the left and the right, just as they appear in the source material. We are not endorsing them.
Right. No spin, just what was actually argued. Because beneath all the procedural sparring you see on the transcript, they are debating some massive operational shifts at the Justice Department.
So let's start with personnel. Neguse came out swinging right away about a specific new DOJ hire, Jared Weiss. Can you break down the exact details Neguse put on the record?
Sure. So Neguse highlighted that Weiss was indicted by a federal grand jury for felonies related to January 6th, specifically assaulting and resisting police.
He brought up video footage too, didn't he?
He did. He pointed to body cam footage where Weiss is allegedly heard yelling, "Kill him," at the officers.
Wow. But Attorney General Bondi, she didn't dodge the employment question. She confirmed Weiss is currently working at the DOJ.
She confirmed it, yeah, but heavily emphasized that President Trump officially pardoned Weiss for those offenses.
Which Neguse immediately seized on. I mean, he used that to challenge the administration's stated commitment to backing law enforcement, highlighting the tension of placing someone pardoned for assaulting police inside the Justice Department itself.
Exactly, and that tension really escalated when the questioning shifted from individual hires to systemic restructuring, specifically the Public Integrity Section.
Oh, right, the PIN, which was actually created back under Gerald Ford. Neguse claimed the staff there was slashed from 35 employees down to just 2.
Yeah, taking a department from 35 people down to 2 effectively neuters its operational capacity. Bondi tried to defend the reduction by arguing she was ending the weaponization of the department,
which instantly triggered Neguse into repeatedly reclaiming his time, just completely halting her defense.
The transcript reads like a total gridlock at that point. Neguse refuses to let her use his time to deliver her talking points, and Bondi is trying to reframe the massive staff cuts as a necessary correction.
It perfectly illustrates how aggressive restructuring is being executed and fiercely contested in real time. And that gridlock bled right into his final major line of questioning.
Right, regarding the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team.
Exactly. He pressed Bondi for current staffing numbers there. And when she wouldn't give a direct figure, he just stated that the number is actually 0, that the entire team was quietly eliminated last year.
And Neguse used that assertion to build a massive conflict of interest allegation. He explicitly linked the disbanding of the crypto enforcement team to President Trump.
Because his personal finances.
Right. He claimed the president made $1.4 billion from cryptocurrency holdings over the past year.
So he's essentially alleging that a specialized law enforcement unit was scrapped to protect the president's personal financial interests, which is a huge claim.
It is. And looking at the entire hearing, it offers a really stark view of how congressional oversight functions today. It raises critical questions for you about institutional transparency and how top-down political directives directly shift what federal law enforcement chooses to prioritize.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, we are strictly analyzing the claims made in the hearing transcript today without endorsing either political viewpoint.
Just reporting the facts as presented.
Right. But looking at the structural changes discussed, there is a lingering question we want to leave you with. If specialized digital enforcement units are being quietly dismantled during a massive global boom in digital assets, how will the traditional justice system adapt to investigate the next generation of complex financial crimes?
It's definitely something to think about.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Deep Dive.